Flycatcher back at you here. And green flag's up. And what happened with that last heat was it got scrapped midway through its progress because we had a dispute regarding the heat prior to it, which involved Victor Fernandez, Robbie Swift, Campello, and Denel. They got the timing wrong before the heat sequence. It was supposed to be 4 minutes. They went with 2 somehow. This is getting rerun here. So this is Jules Denel opening up the scoring on this resale, and he bogs his turn and completely blew that wave. That was a pretty decent scoring opportunity for him. He'll be thinking about that one until the next wave. Robbie Swift, who did not make it out of that heat, a new lease on life. They just ran an entire heat, and it's not going to count based on that timing. Complete resale situation and a giant waste of time. Anyway, here comes Swifty. He's not complaining. This is a second chance for him, and he's using that upper line as well, that upwind line, which allows you to kind of get it little couple more turns, but you got to get the right wave on it as well. Yeah, I mean, in the scheme of things, trying to get to the top 4 here, that one put a real dent in our efforts. Though we've got a lot of time. These are only 20-minute heats. And we shouldn't be too negative about it. At least they're getting it right. If you don't have the right timing sequence, then sailors don't know when they're starting to compete. And that might have affected Denel, who probably wasn't sailing his heat until it was 2 minutes gone. I totally understand his perspective. It isn't the way it should have gone. He followed the script. These things happen. Ricardo Campello, I'll tell you right now, was having a great heat that last time, and he's so consistently locked into these type of conditions, and this favors him that he's going to have a great heat in this heat, I think. But he's also going to get on waves. Victor Fernandez certainly was happy to make it through that heat, and now he has to do it all over again. But he is championship caliber sailor and knows what to do. Nice wraparound cutback, keeps the fins engaged, staying alive. Victor Fernandez heading downtown. Just into your screen there. Nice shot. You can see on the outside it's windy. I would say that it's mostly predominantly an easterly wind here, giving you the ability to kind of run side shore here. And what you have are maybe 2 or 3 wave sets. Some of them are lower bowls. You definitely have some looks. There was a lot going on in that heat, the one that didn't count, right before we started broadcasting. Campello V111, representing Nash. Huge bag of tricks in his sleeve. And he is going to kick out again because this is just not going to let him do it. The stress level, I'm not going to lie, it's severe in this situation. People going through the whole range of emotions. Swifty already thought he was lost, thought his contest was done. And here comes the timing issue. And now they're back out there. Versus Campello and Fernandez, who now have to go the whole process of having thought they passed through the heat again. But let's not get wrapped up in that. Let's get wrapped up in Victor Fernandez on a nice wave. Good cut back, heading down, maybe one more hit. Definitely one more hit. Victor Fernandez. And the lime green rocks of Little Hookiepa. those which you must avoid on your way out at all cost. But they're definitely kind of soft compared to the rocks elsewhere on this island. But don't call it sand. This place can get really good under certain conditions. Right now, it's totally contestable. There's no doubt about it. You're seeing some of these, post swell lines coming in, ground swell on the decrease, mixing in with the wind swell. And occasionally, head high set comes in with about 3 or 4 waves in it. And the scoring potential with the riders who are out right now is sky high. Denel, Campello, Swift, and Fernandez are all capable of big scores. Ricardo Campello on the orange NAF sail. Ricardo might be on something here. Showing some interest. Might be someone upwind of him on this. Not quite. And he jibes out. Swifty giving it a look. Conditions a notch slower than the previous attempt at running this for now. However, 22-minute heats don't last forever. Jules Denel yet to score some points. Basically looking at Victor on the board. And that's it. Jules Denel. Bottom turn cutback combo and kicks out. Robbie Swift not interested. Ricardo Campello's interested. Campello enters it. Nice cutback. Second move. Half cutback. He's in about third gear. Victor Fernandez. He's going to get started with his second score. This is a nice looking wave. Pumps his board and his sail, trying to get the momentum. High line. Definitely some pressure, but he's in a good spot. He's already got one good score under his belt. Victor Fernandez heading downtown. Checks out. Swifty. Nice rotation to make the rotation of the goiter, but didn't make the make. And Jules Denel. Nothing of consequence, but definitely on the board. Fulfilling most of the requirements of the judges. Maybe lacking wave size slightly. This is a really fun spot to sail. There's a target-rich environment that gives you all sorts of opportunities. And we've definitely seen a lot of rotational moves on display here. If you're trying to be one of the best in the world, you definitely got to be able to sail in conditions like this. And both Denel and Swifty and Campello know the drill. Fernandez, the only wave world champion amongst them. Campello's won freestyle world title. But he wants that wave title bad. And he's very motivated to keep climbing the ladder here. Spoke with him yesterday. Ricardo wants to be world champion. And it starts here. Nash Windsurfing's top rider spins a rotation and makes it. Doesn't get the sail pulled out, but he stood up and made it. It's going to get a little more credit than a complete no-make. Both Swifty and Campello, you could see that their goiter rotations were a little slowed down. And that's a little lesson for all of you out there who want to learn that move, is you don't have to rotate it so quickly. You're going to just land in the flats. Plump. Stick it. Slow like a pro, I guess. Wind's gotten a little lighter. Campello's on the lower bowl here. That's Fernandez. Okay, we'll watch Fernandez. Ricardo's done with his move. Here comes Victor. And he's out. A bit anticlimactic, but definitely still wind and waves. And we're still rolling. Here comes Swifty. You know, we'll be driving the point home here about competing here. But I only see us doing it as long as it's a viable, scoreable affair. And you're going to look at the heat scores, and you're going to look at the body of work, and that will determine the continuation of this. I thought they called the last heat because of the conditions. Certainly Josh Angulo breaking his mast and losing his momentum was one of the stories of the heat. Takara Ishii was climbing closer to Angulo in that. So Josh is probably pretty happy that they called it. But I assure you there's two sides to this heat of how people feel. And Campello and Fernandez probably would rather not be out there right now if it was at all possible. Denel and Swift, hungry for another chance. Here comes Denel. Denel, kind of in denial. That wasn't a wave. Therefore, it wasn't really a scoring opportunity. Look at Campello heading in on a full head of steam here, relatively speaking. And he's got himself in the straps and in the position to make something happen here. This is a high line to the move kind of wave. Here he goes. Opens up the clue and gets out of there. No dice, no need to try and do that. Green flag still up. Judges are talking. I can definitely see people looking at this as maybe reaching certain minimum requirements. And I can definitely see others going, this is not the minimum requirement. This is below the minimum. We'll see. All it takes is a good wave to keep us rolling. Here comes Jules Denel. Giving it all he's got, even in these conditions. Fun can be had. Nice cut back. And Denel is done with that ride, which will certainly be in the low scoring range. We are not getting live scores, so you are just getting the footage and the commentary. We hope you like it. It's an interesting setup here at the beach as you pan out on the drone angle. And you see how that little keyhole where all the rigs are and people at the water's edge. You got to walk your rig out just a little bit and you can get on. But we are also going into lower tide here. And that definitely makes things a little tricky. And those urchins, oh, they want you so badly to walk on them and land on them. Here comes Victor Fernandez, far away from any other urchins. There he is with his red duotone rig Fanatic board. And Victor's looking like he's got enough momentum and speed, velocity, and energy to attempt something here. He's sheeting in. He's going faster and faster. He's really got some speed now. And he gets an aerial off the lip that sends him halfway down around the corner of Monteleo. Meanwhile, outside of him, Ricardo Campello V111 on the best wave of his seat so far. And this could be the difference maker for Campello, who kind of spends less time streaking down the line and gets more of a top turn, bottom turn approach to it. Will he get a move in? That's a nice tweak there from Campello, but it blows up on him. And here comes Swifty. Swifty with a cutback. Swifty redirects. Sheets out, gets the goiter move on lock. Does he make it back into the white water? He just about pretty much kind of sort of does. It's a make. Right over the worst part of the rocks on the inside. He flips his sail, turns around, and heads back out. It's probably pretty helpful of Swifty to have made that maneuver. And there are our four competitors. To your left of the screen is Swifty. On the orange sail is Campello. Above him is Fernandez. And at the right-hand side of the screen, there in the green, Jules Denel. Victor Fernandez, forward off the lip, has it, doesn't make it. You blink, you missed it on those. I mean, he came with a full head of steam. We just panned to it just the second he threw it. Good job capturing that, actually. There's Ricardo, and there's Jules, back to back. Jules Denel punches his bottom turn. Finishes his hit. There's Campello, another tweak to make. Well executed, vertical lip hitting, and actually the speed also quite impressive. Got to have a lot of control when you're doing the tweak right into a bottom turn. Swifty gunning for it. Turns it into an air. There might be a little bit more below. Oh. It's interesting down low. The angle really gets a little weird, but Swifty pulls it out. And he pulled a really high goiter in the last heat that he didn't make it out of. Must have been the only thing he did in the heat. Campello winds up. What a rotation from Campello. Air Taka. Fantastic riding from Campello. That's got to put him in the mix. The lineup, it's got some waves in it. The higher scoring ones are the ones that are breaking a little further up and unloading into the lower bowl. Victor Fernandez has absorbed this, though I also think that Victor feels that he can get a good score on just about any wave. Victor would probably be wise to get into this heat with a rotation move. The forward off the lip was an attempt that certainly showed his level of awareness of his situation there. He kicks out because he's seeing Swifty bearing down on him with the Neil Pride JP combo. And Swifty has clearly shown that here's years of training in the rotational moves are also not to be underestimated. Campello, this is danger. He's got something. Full bottom turn on the Nash Sail Nash board combo. Nice looking slashy Nashy. Bam! That was impressive as well. That got the blood flowing a little bit, just the fact that the lightning quick rail work. Here comes Denel trying to replicate that too. He does a little bit less slashing, but got some nice spray and a little bit more down the line projection. Hard to tell what the judges were wanting there, but it almost looked like Campello's technique there is what consisted more of a vertical approach to it. You blink, you missed it. Swifty's on another wave. He's holding high and tight because he wants to unlock the maneuver. Turns it more into a slashy wave attempt. Victor Fernandez behind him. Swifty gets the boost and gets the goiter, and Victor Fernandez tries and goes down swinging. That's the turn of the heat right there. That exchange right there. Now it's Campello and Swifty. And Victor's left scraping. This was a big moment. A real test of anyone's patience to have to go back out there after you've already advanced. However, it affects one person or it affects, nobody. And Swifty and Campello did something there to separate themselves in the eyes of the judges and everybody watching at home. And we will find out shortly. This heat doesn't have too much time left in it. But that is the scope of things. That is the body of work here, is that the green flag's up, the judges are judging. Pen and paper in hand. 24 heat, minute heat duration. It was 2 minutes were added, if I'm not mistaken. Denel setting up here. There he is. Quite an important wave for his heat as well. It's one of those upper ones that he might be able to bounce off the whitewater a few more times. Ricardo Campello looking for anything that's going to make a difference here. He really wants to go further in this contest. Swifty, no different. And when you're dropping into waves like that, I think it's a combination of not really knowing where you are in the heat and just wanting to stay busy. But neither of these attempts are going to be consequential to this heat's score total. I think the